Okay, folks, on today's episode on the Clark Clipper, if you got a transmission, you have to have something to shift it with. So follow along and I'll show you all the work we did to it. We have the shifter assembly removed from the transmission. It was sticking up there kind of awkward, so I thought I'd go ahead and take that off, get it out of my way. I've got the boots here that go on the shifters. This one's cracked, but fairly smooth. This one isn't cracked, but it's stiffer than a doggone board. Is that a good word? So we're gonna drop these in to our combination wintergreen and alcohol solution. Let them soak for a week and see what happens. And then I'm gonna look through the manual, figure out the best way to disassemble this. These are too long to fit into my powder coating oven, so these will get painted, but this will probably get powder coated red. So let me see where I come out on that. I didn't record taking the shifter unit apart. Kind of got in a hurry, but it's fairly simple, and it's almost exactly it's exactly the opposite of putting it back together. So I'll show you putting it back together. Anyway, we got the housing all powder coated. Looks pretty good. These they're on the side of the shifter. There's a slot or a groove that these go in, and they slide that way for whatever reason. I guess to keep them positioned correctly. So the first thing we need to do, might be easier to do it in this direction, is to slide those in like that. I think I'll do one side at a time here. Let me see. This is actually the high and low here. And it tilts away from this side. And that's got to be the way it goes. So essentially, you slide this in like this. So that it should slide up against that shaft. Or that screw or square-headed part that I showed you earlier. There we go. There we go. And you have to flip it over like this. And the next thing that goes on is this. This will sit at the bottom of the spring. So that goes down there like that. And then the spring, hopefully you can see this, slides down in there. And you basically, spring turns around in there until it snaps in there, which is easier said than done, especially since I still don't have the strength back in my right arm. Well, I didn't think I was going to have that much trouble with this. That's got to go a half rotation yet. I think I'm right back where I was. Well, I don't know if I got it in there exactly all the way, but seems to function correctly. So I'm going to try to do the next one. After a cup or two of coffee and some finagling, I got those springs back in there. Not a job for the faint of heart, but we do have them done. So we can move on and start to get the rest of the shifter assembly put together. Basically, what we have is we have these shifter assembly or fingers that go in there. Now a spring and a spring and a ball goes in there for the detents. So I'm going to gather those parts here. And that's these. Interestingly enough, I just realized that one of the springs is a different size than the other. So I wonder what the story is on that, because these forks are exactly the same. And this, they go like, no, they don't. Let me see. This has a number on it, I thought. Yeah, there it is. This is 205357. 205358. After fighting with keeping the ball in there for way too long, I finally came up with a method to do this. Basically, that will go in there like that. So what I do is I've got these plugs that I use for powder coating. And I shove those in there. Then I drive the rod in here. There we go. And I may have put that plug in backwards. We'll find out here in a minute. Yep, I did. Just back that back out. Maybe. You can see there the ball just pushed out the other side. Okay, let's try it again. So in other words, I need that plug come in that way. Then as it pushes through, it pushes the ball down even further until the rod gets there. At least that's what I did on the other one. No, I'm doing it wrong again. No, I'm doing it right. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. Try to straighten that up as much as I can. Okay, let's flip it over. See if they'll drive in there, or if I'm going to have to straighten it out a little bit more. Oh, there it goes. Okay, finally, that part's done. Getting all the detents. Come on. There we go. All right. That's reassembled, and I didn't muck up the powder coating too much. So, I'm going to go fish something out of the wintergreen. We'll see if that worked okay. Okay, this stuff has been soaking in my combination wintergreen, 1 part wintergreen, and I don't remember having 5 parts rubbing alcohol, 71%. I have to get a little bit of paint off of here. But that's nice and soft now. Now this was the one that was really stiff. Got to get some paint off of that yet, but I would say these are good as new. No, actually this was the one that was really hard. This one here has got some cracks in it that probably put some black silicone in it. I think that'll work for a while. So there you have it. If you got some rubber parts that are all hard and crusty, that's how you soften them up. All right, we have the shifter mechanism all done. Got the main body powder coated. The shift levers have been painted. Same way with the shift levers. Everything on the inside has been cleaned up, put back together. The shifter boots smell of wintergreen since we treated the rubber boots. This one really was the one that was the hardest. Came out of the wintergreen. It was almost too soft, but it's been about a week and it's stiffened up a little bit again, so it's about perfect. So there we are. We're going to be able to put her in high and low and forward and reverse. So till next time, I really appreciate you following and liking the videos, share them. We're going to continue on until we get this thing done.